All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 73. My name is Mr. McLogan, and thank you so much for joining me tonight, where I wanted to talk about your summer plans, as I'm assuming majority of you are kind of wrapping out the end of your year. You might have already graduated. Congratulations. Maybe you just finished off all of your tests and your exams. Congratulations. Or maybe you still have a couple more weeks left in school, like my own students, which I definitely feel you are almost there. So just hang in there. But in this live stream for week number 73, I'm here to go ahead and take your questions. And then also just want to kind of talk to you about your summer plans. I got a little behind the ball this week and was not able to post my normal content that I usually like to do for each live stream. So I do apologize. And I greatly appreciate all of you that are joining in right now. I'm seeing like that very weird. It's not seeming like my stream is going good so far. But if the stream is going all right for you guys, then please let me know in the chat. I usually do not get this message, but I have been playing around in my studio. If you've kind of noticed, everything looks a little bit different behind me. And so if everything's not going through that well, let me know so I can maybe go and adjust or go ahead and take a look, make sure my internet is all right. But I believe everything is still hard connected for me on that. But yes, congrats on the class of 2021. It has been a crazy year. I never would have thought, even after the end of last year, I never thought the year that you would have had this year would have gone like it did. But it did. It happened. And you know what? You're here. And congratulations. It is definitely a feat. Unfortunately, it's something I would never wish upon anybody to have to go through. But I think the resiliency of everybody that has been involved in being able to finish off a year like this year, no matter if you're a senior, a junior, sophomore, freshman, college, high school, whatever, the fact that you've made it this far and have done what you've been able to do, I think is a huge, major accomplishment. And that's why I wanted to kind of talk about for this year. It's like, all right, so now that we like finish the year, like, what's everybody doing? Like, are you just like done with this year? Kind of like, I just want to live my life, enjoy some sort of like normalcy. At least in the United States, we have the mask mandate for like overall for these people that have been vaccinated has been kind of lifted for a lot of scenarios. So, it kind of feels a little bit of, getting back to a little bit normal for a lot of people in a lot of different situations. Or are you have to kind of like regroup and like, oh crap, I had struggled this year. I might have to like retake some classes. I know some students that, I've been looking into like summer school, like immediately already started. They probably, going into summer school, getting ready, to kind of retake maybe a class or two that you had to. Or also looking into, preparing for next year. Like, a lot of students that, they might have gotten by this year, but you're like, oh, there's a lot I need to do for getting ready for next year, And so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how the summer is going to work. I know there's been a lot of push for people to try to like increase schooling throughout the year, but like, where's really the demand? I mean, students know obviously there's some gap in in learning, but I think it's always tough. And there's a gap in learning, right? Or at least from this year, but it's like, what's the best thing to really do through the summer? Is it really to go hard and try to regroup for next year? Or is there that advantage of like just not doing anything and just being kids, being young and enjoying your time throughout the summer? Come on, what the heck is going on with my playback? I don't know why I'm getting let me just double check on my internet connection. I don't know what to say, guys. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I think there's a lot that needs to be said about, just kind of getting back and actually, I'm going to do a little analogy, but I think it's rightfully so. So I'm a little late to The Last Dance. Haven't watched it up to this point. Just kind of, I don't know, I've been busy. And it was kind of funny though. I'm in like one of the later, what the heck? Oh, okay. So I'm in one of the later episodes, but it was kind of funny one of the episodes that kind of relate what we're talking about, or at least what I'm talking about right now, is about like Dennis Rodman on the 97-98 season where he went to Vegas and just was like blowing off steam, like the team's playing and, he's just having fun partying in Las Vegas. But, one of the couple of comments that, that was mentioned by Phil or Michael Jordan, it's like, that was one of those things that we knew about Dennis Rodman was like, he had to be himself. He had to blow off that steam. And so therefore he cared. But he cared about the team. He cared about winning. But that was one of those things that he needed, that we knew he needed to be able to come back and, be the best that he could be. And I think that's really true a lot about education. And I'm not going to try to equate what he was doing in Las Vegas to what students should be doing in their summertime. But my main goal is like, I think there's a big push for people thinking that everybody needs to be always schooling all the time, should be always be focused on learning, and increasing their grades and, what summer program are you going to be doing? How are you going to prepare for next year? And I think there's just a lot of like, have fun this year, right? Even if you didn't have the most productive year last year, like, there's going to be some work you're going to need to catch up on. Like, you're going to have to put in the work next year, or, let's say you're taking some hard classes this year or this upcoming year, and you didn't really get by, you just you kind of got by last year. It's like, you're going to have to put in some work. But you know what? Like, while there's some things, maybe there's some time and a place for some stuff this year. Like, I'm going to be doing some stuff on my YouTube channel to help students prepare over the year. But like, it's not there for everybody. And I think for a lot of students, and not everybody, but I think for a lot of students, I think there is some good gain in just like releasing yourself from school. Just enjoying yourself, just having some fun, getting away from the grind of education. So therefore, when the fall comes back and when you're ready back to school, you can hit it hard and you can enjoy yourself and you can put in that time and the hard effort and be focused. I think there's something to be said about that. So, that is some things I want to kind of talk about. I'll let you guys know. As far as that was kind of my idea, my thought process as far as the summer plans. As far as what I'm doing for the summer, I am going to do my trip. I'm going to do my typical trip. I usually always go up to Alpena. Or I'm sorry, I usually go up to Michigan to go and see family over throughout the summer. Not a lot of people know about Alpena, Michigan. But yeah, so we usually go ahead and I always do at least a summer trip with my family. And then, the main thing is, I'm going to be working on a lot of content. So this year, for those of you that are not aware, I've been making YouTube videos for over 10 years now, since 2010. And I'd probably say since like 2012, I've basically been making like videos every single day. And this year was actually the first year I stopped making daily content. And one of the reasons for that was, one, I wanted to focus on making just kind of like better videos, kind of like focus on my strategy, which kind of COVID, everything else messed that up. So I didn't really get that opportunity. And then the other thing is like, I was wearing a mask. Like most of my videos are like me teaching inside the classroom. Well, obviously this year messed all of that up because I didn't really want to make videos with me wearing a mask. And so the only time I had to make videos was after school. And usually if I'm teaching all day, the last thing I really want to do is again, now make more videos after school. So it really limited the number of videos I was able to make this year. And one of the things I'm looking forward to, which I've done for many years, which many of you may know, may not know, like I've gone in during the summer for many years and would just make videos. And that's usually what I did during the summer is I would make videos for like 3 to 4 hours each and every day. And that's one of my goals, plans to do this year is to make a lot of content, make a lot of content that is, I'm hoping is going to be beneficial for you guys as you get prepared for next year. So let's go and get in and say hi to some of you guys in the comments because I do have a little twist for this live stream as it's going to be a little bit different than what we've done in previous years. Any tips for memorizing all the trig formulas? I'm not sure which trig formula is, Jason, that you need, but I mean, I think the main thing is just trying to write them down, probably, Jason, as much as possible. Write them down, study them, flashcards, old school stuff. I give my students the formula, so unfortunately, I'd probably say I don't have a great thing for them. I've been giving my students the formulas for many, many years now. Har says, I'm in school. Why is my ads coming up? All right, good. All right. Should I take calculus or statistics my junior year? I don't know. It all depends on really where you want to go, what you want to do your senior year. I mean, are you going to just take one year, take the other the next year? If so, typically, at least in our school, and this is only what I can say for our school, is typically for our school, students that usually took statistics before calculus, they did better in calculus their senior year. And I think that just really kind of comes into majority of the time, it's just the maturity that is needed for an AP calculus. I'm assuming that's what we're taking. A AP calculus just usually needs a little bit more of like a mental mathematical maturity for students, and not everybody has that their junior year. So typically most students that take it when they are seniors just do a little bit better. But that is just from a teacher perspective, I think really you also need to take this into what is it you want to accomplish your junior and senior year? Like, where do you want to go after that? What do you want to do with your math? I mean, are you going into computer science? Are you going into like physics? Like, what are you doing? Are you going into business? Like, what do you want to do with the math? Why are you taking these classes? And I think to kind of understand that, we'll kind of decide, do you want to go more of a mathematical track or a more statistics track? Should teachers, thank you, Ethan. Thank you very much for super chat. That is very awesome. I greatly appreciate that for you. Sokotoa. Yeah, I think for Sokotoa, you just want to memorize Sokotoa. That is basically it. I mean, not, I don't know. I've always just memorized Sokotoa. So I would just kind of definitely go from there. Calculus, unless you need economics. Yes, yeah, it could definitely be for that. Should teachers be more lenient on grades? Injection. It's a good question. It's an interesting one too, because I mean, I had some students this year that they were talking to me about their grade, and they're like, oh, I want that. I'm trying to get a B, and I don't even know why. What was it I was talking to? Was that a previous student? No, I don't think it was. No, I think it was a student this year. And so one of the things that I did this year was to kind of help out students with their grades, is I gave them more credit for like completion grade stuff than just like tests and like they're testing their quizzes. So typically in my class, tests and quizzes would go for like 80 to like 85% of a student's grade. So yeah, I mean, you had to perform in my class if you were going to do well. And this year I was just like, I mean, what, it's like this balance of like, I want to hold students accountable. I want to push them, but also I got to be understanding and I got to be empathetic to like the situation that we're all going through. So what I just decided to do was across the board, I would just give students more points. So I doubled the amount of points that students would get credit for their completion grades. Which basically kind of reduced the, instead of like 2 points for assignment, they got like 5 points for assignment, So overall, what that did is that just reduced the percentage that the test would be, that would affect the student's grade, which roughly I think still went to, actually I haven't like looked at it, but I'd probably say we're still probably in like a 60 to 70% range, which, so, I mean, that's a little bit more lenient. I mean, students could still do poorly on the test, but if they completed the work, they would have got by a little bit better, for this year. And I don't know if there's a perfect situation for that. It's like, obviously for a lot of my classes, I wanted students to know the material, and I think many students understand that, like, if you can't just like get by, especially math, right? And one of the things I was telling students is like, people know, I've been teaching in my school for long enough. Like when people know you get a B in my class, they know, okay, you're ready for the next course. Or if you get an A in Mr. McLogan's, like that says something about you. That says something about what you're capable of, right? So I don't like fluff grades. I don't like students being able to get by and just be like, I got a B and like I didn't really deserve it, But in the same respect, I feel like there's a little bit of weight needed to be given this year, and like no questions asked. Like, hey, we're all kind of going through the scenario. It sucks. I don't want to be a part of it. It's like I don't want to get too much in it. I had last students that were quarantined for weeks upon weeks, and it's like, what do I can't go through this, and people that have had deaths, and family members, and like it's, what do you say? What do you do from that? I think you gotta have some sense of empathy, and just realize that it's not a perfect school year. You're never going to, this year is never going to be perfectly defined for each and every student. So you just got to do the best you can and provide a grading system that you think is the most fairly based for everybody. Well, thank you, Miguel. I love so much your videos. Help me every time my teacher doesn't teach well. I got a 94 final grade in geometry because of you. Well, you are very welcome. That is awesome. I was so mad this year. I was teaching geometry, and I was so excited to teach to make more videos on geometry. And, as I mentioned, since we kind of did the math, I taught geometry all this year. And yeah, I didn't make any. I made a couple at the beginning of the year, but I definitely need to. That's one of the things I'm going to probably work on, hopefully plan on doing for this upcoming summer, is just making some more geometry videos. It's been a long time since I made some geometry videos. I used to have 100 in pre-calc last year. Well, awesome. Get it. Keep on going. That's good. That is good to have. I got an Algebra 2 exam tomorrow. Can't wait to put the fun back in. Oh, Willie B, you got a good one. The reason why I'm laughing is because my students will know that that's like the good old quirky dad joke, math teacher jokes. And that is definitely something that would come out of my mouth. But I've actually never used that one before. So I'll have to put that one in my repertoire. Thank you very much for that. Again, things. Because COVID, should our grades be higher or lower? Well, hers and not. Yeah, it's a tough thing. Here's the problem too. It's like, so everybody's like, oh yeah, great, I got a B, right? It's like, hey, I got B's and A's, and my teachers have been so nice. I'm like, well, guess what? Everybody, it's like, that's really kind of across the board. It's tough. It's like, I can be like, oh, nothing changes. Suck it up, guys. Reach out for COVID, and but then it's like, then you're comparing them to like other students in other schools that maybe, they're just getting these flying color grades just for like showing up, right? Or, they never even got to see the teacher this year and they just cheated on all their tests and whatever. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know across the board how we're going to look at this in like 3 to 5 years and kind of see, is everybody's grade just been inflated? Do we just assume, right? Are colleges just going to assume that anybody that like got a passing grade, that it's just an inflated grade? I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's interesting to see how this is going to kind of impact years beyond this, which I don't really think we know, and obviously there's a learning loss. I don't think anybody can deny that from the end of last year where we, kind of finished the school year. And then this year, everybody's had a different scenario, right? Everybody's had something different that they've gone on. Like their schooling has not been the same. So like, how are we going to be able to compare how that's impacted different people, and different groups? And yeah, a lot of people have got some great grades, but it's like, I don't know. Like, how do you equate somebody that got an A during the COVID compared to say somebody that got an A before that or after that? I don't know. It's going to be kind of interesting. Well, thank you, Forever Thoughtful. That is very nice of you for a super chat. Thank you for providing me with wonderful tips on how to teach math to meet all the learning styles. It helps me become a better teacher. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm really happy that my videos have been able to help and inspire you. All right. How can I stop playing while in Zoom meeting and start doing homework? TMX, that's all I knew, man. I don't know. Donate words. Oh, thanks, Miguel. I appreciate it. Wow, man. Some people are just not very nice. I'm not doing anything except taking engineering class. Well, Hey, kudos to you, Jacob. I thought I was going to be an engineer when I was like in college. I was like, oh, I'll go and take engineering. I like math. And then that's where I was like, that's a lot of math. And even though I teach math, I do math all day, every day. The applied math of being an engineer, kudos to you, is just a lot of math working in. So great things. Uh, Yeah, you better watch out, Miguel. Ethan's been one of my proud supporters for many, many weeks. I really, really appreciate you, Ethan, as well as Miguel, and everybody else that has a super chat. I really do appreciate you guys. What is the twist? I do not know how. All right. Julie, is your name pronounced Juliana? Juliana Corvin? Because my daughter is Juliana. That's pronounced. But I was just wondering if that's a different spelling that I've never seen. But it sounds like it'd be pronounced Juliana. I like it. Beautiful. How does pre-calc compare to calc? Because I've never been doing really well in pre-calc, but calc is scaring me right now. Well, I mean, pre-calc is really kind of just more of a, obviously a precursor to calculus. And I think that the major thing for pre-calc is more of the introduction of trigonometry, and obviously the study more of functions. Because once you get into calculus, you realize that like all that algebra that you were supposed to remember from algebra 2 and that you get revised from pre-calc really gets exposed. And like that's one thing. Like I talk with a lot of my students that are in my pre-calc. They're always, I've always been good at math, and then I took pre-calc, because then it's like I struggled this year. And it's like, yeah, man, it's, pre-calculus is one of those courses that like it exposes you, right? If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to show. Like it's going to show up. And I think that's one of those, hard to swallow for a lot of students. Is like for other classes, they've been able to get by. They can just do what they need to do to get by. And then they take a course like pre-calculus or calculus, and it's like, oh crap, I'm supposed to remember this stuff. I'm supposed to do this and everything like that. Well, thank you so much, Melinda. I greatly appreciate that. And I know I do owe you another chat back on the Discord. One of the things I want to do, so I will get back to you tonight on that, because actually, I should say tonight, but so we'll see. There's actually a lot of things I want to chat with you on, so I'll let you know about those. So thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that, because you've been awesome, and I love having me on there or checking in the chat, because man, there's just these kids, and like Addie and Charles. Thank you so much, guys, because like it seems like every single time I get like going on some of my rants, I'll be talking, I'll see, chat deleted, and it's like I really appreciate you guys. Wow, so 6th grade, Miguel. I love that. Seeing a stress less because that's awesome. But anyways, so yeah, one of the things is people are like, oh, how are we going to do things different this live stream? Well, so here's something that's new for this is I don't have any questions planned. I actually have my thing up, but I did not have the time to get prepared for this live stream. I did not have the time to send out the email to my email list. I did not have the time today to post on my community post until like the very, very end. And actually, let me see. I think some of you guys are joining there. And I didn't have time to like create this live stream until like the very end. That's why you guys can see like my background looks really weird. I've been fixing around my studio, trying to get all this done. And the raw, well, thank you so much. I really respect your diligence to the language of math. Well, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then also, I just like to blame things on having a newborn, because this week has been one of the more difficult weeks, I would probably say, with teaching, having a 1-month-old at home, and trying to wrap up the school year, wrap up grades, wrap up teaching, and getting ready for like my YouTube content, fixing up my studio. And obviously I'm like, I got home, and then we obviously had some plans this weekend. And then so we got home a little bit while ago, and I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I haven't done anything from that live stream. And I'm like, I got to go live. It's week 73, right? I mean, I'm like, I got to go to 104. I got to go at least do 2 years of these live streams, 2 years in a row. That's at least my goal. Got to get to that, right? So I do apologize for that. It's just been one of those crazy, crazy weeks. So I'm hoping for next week and the week after, things will die down and be able to focus a little bit more. How do you convince a teacher? I thought you got 100 injection. Didn't you get 100 in pre-calc? Why are you trying to get raise your grade? Maybe it's not a math grade. But anyways, you know what? That's going to be my live stream. Great. That's a great one. That's how I'm going to, I'm not going to talk about that. I am going to talk about that next week. How to get your teacher to raise your grade. I love it. Because I have a lot of things that coming from a teacher that I think is important for you to know. And then also coming from a student perspective, I think is fun. So I will talk about that next week. Will be my live stream content. Thank you for giving me, last year. Okay. That will be my content for you guys next year. Next week. Any advice for a 7th grader? Go on to 8th grade? I don't, it doesn't matter what grade you're in. Just, keep working hard. Keep on working hard and stay curious. You got a lot to look forward to. And I think just enjoy your time in schooling, do the best you can. And that'll be it. Just enjoy the time. That's I think that's the best you guys can do. All right, going to get my OSU math placement test. How do you convince the teacher to raise your grade? I will talk about that. All right, so I do not have any of my plans, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back. If any of you have been around for my live streams for like a while now, back in the day, I used to just take questions from the chat. Like that's the way we used to do things. And then I realized that was a horrible idea because it was really hard for students to type in their questions. And then I had to understand them in live, and it was really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these questions from my Google form that I already have devised or that I already have ready to go. And I'll be able to pick. We'll see how many questions we get through. I don't want to take too long for this. Well, thank you, Miguel. Is that another one I was trying to through? Why does that pop up? Why is this chat? I had my pop-out chat, but it doesn't seem like as awesome as your guys' chat. It was. Oh. Weird. Okay. All right. Yeah, I gotta go find out better credit card. Just kidding. Well, I would see you 57. Yes, I'll be coming out with a lot more content for you, Miguel. Do not get in trouble, please. But I do appreciate your super chats. All right. So, anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my streams, or I'm going to take these questions from you guys from my super chat. I'm sorry, super chat. What am I doing? From, why is this not showing up? I thought I had this. Oh, wait, no. I want to get to the questions. Sorry. There. Are you serious? Oh, dang it. All right, now I got to go back through. That is annoying. All right, hold on. Now I got to get the new link for you guys because this one is the wrong one. So I'm going to get you where if you... So anyways, these questions have all been pre-submitted into me right now. And so if you're interested in submitting questions to me each and every week, I will be doing these live streams, guys, each and every week over the summer, throughout all the way until the end of the year. So that is my goal. That is what I've been doing for over a year now. If you guys can see from the title, it's week 73. So I will be back at it, guys, answering your questions. So if you do have questions, if you are taking summer school over the summer, or you just decide that, you know what, you had some fun and you're ready to get ready for next year, then feel free to go ahead and take a look at these links. These are some excellent things that we have. Oh, I got some other things. Oh, I got to mention to the Discord. So dang it, that was going to be my other topic I was going to do. So let's talk about those summer plans, because there's definitely some things that are going on with this that you guys need to have. Why is this not pinning? There you go. Okay. So First of all, if you guys do have questions, you guys can submit those. I will try to do as many questions as I possibly can each and every week. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to lie. As my life has gotten more crazy and crazy with having a third kid, that I'm just not able to get to all of the questions that I always want to. Okay. So, I mean, that's just reality. I do apologize, but it is what it is. So, but I will be going live. I will try to answer questions, do the best I can. Now, do you recommend photomath? Of course I do. Why would I not? Yes. Not when you need to take a test, but I think it's a great tool to like understand how to do something. But I think for anything, it's important to know how to do it rather than just the answer, right? And I think as long as photomath can help you, and I can't remember if they show you the step-by-steps, but I think as long as you can like use that to help learn what you're supposed to be doing, like, of course, it's excellent, But I mean, yeah, if you're just going to use it to cheat on a test, no, I don't recommend it. I mean, recommend it for getting a good grade, I guess, but that's not, eventually it's going to catch up to you. So cheat as much as you want. Eventually it will catch up to you. Even if it's not math class, eventually your cheating ways of cutting corners will catch up to you. So just always be careful on the way that you approach life and everything in there for there. So anyways, all of these questions have been submitted onto that link for Brian McLogan Q&A. And then also, you guys can also, if you don't want to wait till next week, or if I don't get your questions tonight or next week, please go ahead and check a look at the Discord. There's definitely some cool things actually going on in the Discord with the moderators and the tutors. In addition, you guys can post questions in anything from Algebra 1 to Calculus. If you guys have any questions, post your pictures. There's tutors that are available to help you out. I always recommend that students are helping each other out. Just don't rely on a tutor to become available, because everybody is like, it's a volunteer, community. It's there to help other people, with their math. So, I think it's important just to, if you're asking a question, to help somebody else out with their question in there. But a couple things that are going on over the summer, which I will talk more about, we'll probably designate a live stream to kind of go from this. Actually, probably not next week. Maybe the week after, we'll probably do that. It is and talking a little bit more about the Discord, because I do have some other things I want to talk about. So, but one of the things that's going on right now is a math challenge. So if you are part of my math challenge, I did like a 30-day math challenge over the month of March. It was very cool. It didn't end the way that I wanted to, because my life got very crazy with upcoming kid and everything like that. But it was really cool. It was really fun to have so many students inside a math challenge. We did a math challenge every day, and that's exactly what's going on in the Discord. So if you're interested in kind of like staying relevant, staying updated with doing some math, you kind of want to get challenged by doing some different math problems. Doesn't really matter what math you're taking. Just go ahead and try some problems. It's there to keep math relevant for you. And I think that's very important as you guys are getting through the summer. As I mentioned, I'm a big proponent of you guys enjoying your time, right? This was a very difficult year. And I think it's very important that students kind of take a step back, enjoy their time, and get ready to, if you have another math class coming up, like, you're going to have to work hard, especially if you didn't get everything you out of this year that you were supposed to, and that, you're going to be working hard next year. There's going to be a lot you're going to have to upkeep, but I don't feel you have to, work twice as hard every day this week, every day in the week throughout the summer, right? Take some time off, relax, kind of do something else, enjoy your time. But when you're ready and you want to kind of like maybe inch your way back and doing some math, there is an amazing Discord server that has a daily math challenge. I mean, every day there's a new math problem that's going on, and they're going to show you how to do it. So if that's something of interest to you, go ahead and check out the Discord. I have the pinned comment up there for you guys. And then, again, you guys can post questions throughout the year, throughout the summer, and help other people with their math. I mean, there's no better way, guys, to learn math than to teach somebody else how to do it. And if you're in Algebra 2, help somebody learn the Algebra 1. Like, there's different channels for Algebra 1, geometry. Look at different types of questions that people are taking from different schools. Like, it's amazing what you can learn about math from helping other students and different types of problems they're getting. Like, one of the things I think that has been amazing about doing these open live streams, like doing these questions, is like, I have 16 questions that have been submitted from last week. I have no idea what these questions look like. I haven't looked at them once, but I can tell you, like, usually some of the reasons why I don't get to address a lot of these questions is I don't have time to like really digest what the questions are asking or if I'm familiar with it. I am still a teacher and, I've been teaching for, 14 years. But again, like some questions, I mean, I haven't maybe addressed since I was a student in high school, or in college, or even a teacher like years ago. I mean, I haven't taught geometry. This is my first year teaching geometry. I haven't taught geometry in 10 years. Like, it's kind of crazy. I mean, that makes me sound old, which I guess I am, but I always like to think I'm young, but I mean, yeah, 10 years, I haven't taught geometry. So this year has been helpful because I've refreshed a lot of my memory on a lot of stuff, but like, I don't think my instruction was very great this year. It's been a while. And, in the same respect, like when students ask me questions like, oh, how do you do this? Like, if I don't feel like I have a great explanation, a lot of times I won't cover them on the live stream, because I don't want to sound like a doofus, and fumbling over my words like, oh, well, like I've done that. If you look at my old live streams, there's plenty of examples of me just mumbling over my words. Cause like when you're doing a live stream, you have, 55 people watching you, and then you're thinking about doing the problem. And then you're just kind of talking. It's like, it's kind of like teaching in front of class, even though you're a little bit more natural. I mean, I'm not as impacted by live stream anymore, but still it's a little different environment for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Addie, for posting this link. That's awesome. Yes. Thank you, bro. I probably passed away in class because of you. Well, I am very happy to be able to help you out. Let me get some extra credit. I agree. I'm sorry, Clash, to hear of that. I'm sorry that you blaming me, but I think you can get by if you really did fail your class. Settle up. It's all right. Put in the work over the summer. You'll be okay. How do you do this? All right, Alex, I don't know why your question grabbed me so much. So we're actually using radical exponents. Well, using radical exponents, I don't really know what you're talking about. So Alex, you're going to have to submit actually on a question. You have to submit into the link from there. So yes, yeah, let's see what happens. I read one person's question, then everybody starts shooting the questions. Guys, if you have questions, go ahead and use the link. It's pinned, brianmclogan.com/Q&A. Go post there or go to the Discord link, okay? Because it takes me too long to read the questions. So I got about 20 minutes. Let's see what kind of fun, guys, we can have. Well, thank you, Corey. Let's see what fun we can have on the questions that have been submitted. And so I have not seen these, so I'm going to do my best of submitting some questions. So let's get this first one is from Kulo. All right, let's see. There you go. So Kulo's question is, what is the period of the function? So this is the cosecant, and the cosecant, this is your b. Okay, so the period for all functions except for tangent and cotangent is going to be 2 pi divided by b. So in this case, we have a 2 pi. Sorry, yeah, my penmanship is horrible. 2 pi divided by b. Okay, that's the period. So in this case, I have a 2 pi divided by 8, which is going to be a pi over 4. There you go. All right, this is kind of cool. Now I can just kind of delete these. I don't like doing it like this. Uh-oh, somebody else added a question. Grammar files. Will these live streams continue throughout the summer? Yes, Justin, I will be doing these throughout the summer. So if you're taking summer school or you're, I don't know. I always like to say people are, done with school, but I know like everybody has different, courses. But yeah, I'll be planning on going live throughout the whole summer for you guys, and hopefully actually adding in a more live stream. We'll see how that goes. All right. So next one. Do I know this person's name? This is from @ColeAker. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Cole. I greatly appreciate that. That is awesome. Not really a question I can share with you guys because it just said thank you. All right. Nothing came there. Are you guys going to keep on shooting? You guys better not be shooting the questions over the live stream. That's going to take forever. So I will keep on going until at least probably 10 o'clock. Can you show me Pythagorean theorem? Yes. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If you have a more better question or more direct question, then let me know. How to find the perimeter of a rectangle? You add up all the sides. It doesn't matter what the figure is, guys. If you want to find the perimeter of anything, that's basically the distance around a figure. So that's basically all you need to do is find the distance around a figure. All right. So rectangle is just add up all the sides. Justin, I was creating practice problems for myself, and I stumbled upon trying to find the inverse of this function. I need help with this problem. All right, let's see what function you're dealing with, Justin. All right, I've never done this one, but we'll see what happens here. I'm assuming this one is... So this one does not have a... God, I don't know. This is not one that I would be familiar with, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not going to cover this one. I see, that's the thing. Like, I need to work through this, and I'm not going to spend my time like going through this and then seeing where I mix up. So great question for you, Justin. But I'm looking at this one. I'm like, that's not something I've done or familiar with, and I don't want to spend people's time just going over it and then me rethinking of my explanation and be like, well, what's the best way to approach this problem? So Justin, I would say definitely go ahead and submit that onto Discord for sure. All right, guys, I am only going to be able to get to so many questions for the next 15 minutes. So I do apologize if you are submitting questions now during the live stream, because typically I usually only take the questions that were submitted prior, but we'll see how far we get. What did we... I'll take some magic mushroom. Okay. Think of your amazing video. You're so hot. Oh, well, you're very welcome. There's something else. What was I looking for? Oh, do you work with Calc 2 students? Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't teach Calculus 2. It's been a while, but I'm hoping over this year that that's something I will obviously get at as well. All right, this one is from @StudyWithMe. I don't understand how to find the perimeter of a polynomial triangle. What the heck? Polynomial triangle. What is that? So let's go and take a look at this one, see if this is a question I can add to the stream. Oh, it's a triangle with polynomial sides. All right, well, we can do this one, I guess. So I'm not sure if this is the same student that submitted their previous question. So let's go and take a look here. There we go. All right, so we have a triangle. Again, the perimeter, guys, is just going to be the sum of all of the sides. So what we have here is 2x plus 1, 3x plus y, and 3y plus 1. So basically all you're simply going to do is just add a 2x plus 2 plus a 3y plus 1 plus a 3x plus y. Okay, now here we can combine our like terms, which is our x's, our y's, and our numbers. Okay, those are going to be your like terms. So 2x plus 3x is going to be a 5x. And then 3y plus y is going to be a 4y. So 5x plus 4y looks like is going to be answer C. And then 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. Yep, there we go. It's answer C. I did not take AP Calculus this year. I taught it the previous years. But yeah, we'll see what happens next year. But I do have plenty of videos if that's something you are taking. For on there, I have plenty of older videos when I taught AP Calculus. I did record all of those. All right. Next one, find the equation of all the ranges. Ugh. The given curve. Let's see how that one goes. Anyways, hello. Well, hi, Christine. YouTube account. You look like Rainy Art. Yeah, thank you. I will see what I can do. If it hurts your head, I'm not a math genius, so we'll see what I can come up. There's definitely a lot of smarter people, probably even on the stream, that can do a lot more math problems than I can, right? So I'm just happy to show up and answer whatever questions I can do for you guys. Find the equation. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be a calculus question, and I will just need more time to work through it, which I don't have time through this live stream. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, when I'm not in the heat of doing calculus, a lot of the problems, unless they're like immediately coming to me, I don't want to go through them just because it's not something that I don't want to give you a subpar like explanation or take too time to work through it. And if it's not something that's I'm relevantly working on, a lot of times just my explanations I know are not going to be on point. So sorry about that. I'll have to miss that one. All right. Anna Lynn, I believe. Where does the 3x come from? See, I like these pointed questions. You guys are doing pretty good this week. A lot of the previous weeks, people were like, do this, like, or explain this theorem. And it's like, everything like comes from, I'm like, where did these come from? Oh, this is really weird. This is like from a problem of mine. Oh, jeez, what's going on here? That is really weird. How are we supposed to see this? They're like asking a question actually on one of my videos of like where a number came from. That's really cool. Oh, well, I mean, I just added x plus 2x. So, I mean, I'm not going to go through that question, but I was just combining like terms. If Annalyn, you're looking at that, I had an x plus 2x. I just combined like terms. That's all I did there. Hello, Lexi. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you. Well, thank you, Taylor. I greatly appreciate that. I don't understand how to write the answer or even understand it. Find about the x-axis. Ooh, so yeah, that's a good question. All right, Michael G. I'm having trouble with dividing polynomials by using long division. Yes, well, I totally understand. It's a difficult process. I definitely have a lot of videos. I'm not sure, I can go through, I don't know. It's if I'm not sure where you're getting stuck on. So I this is like one of those like broad questions. Like, yeah, I know long division is difficult, but if you had like more, if you wanted me a problem you wanted me to go through, help out, I could do that. If there's a part where you're not understanding, I could do that, but I don't want to just like blanketly talk about long division of polynomials. But I have covered it on previous live streams, as well as I have multiple videos for that. So, but let me know if there's something more specific you'd like me to cover. Next one is I need help with these problems. All right. I do like doing problems. Got 100 of my math courses, Smarter. Thanks to you. Appreciate your teaching. Well, awesome, Tom. Good for you. Congrats. Ben says, thanks so much, Ryan, for finals tomorrow and your videos. Awesome. Good for you. Great to do it. I don't know who JMac is. Well, hello, Aya from Egypt. Awesome. Great to have you on. And hi, Jeremy. Good to have you. All right, find missing links. Good ones. I like these. These are fun ones. These are good geometry questions. And trig questions, really. We use these a lot. Once we get into trig and we start talking about the unit circle and so forth. Okay, so to kind of speed along, to kind of see what other questions I can get to. Remember, when we have an isosceles right triangle, then our two side lengths are going to be the exact same length. So the 45, 45, 90 triangle looks like this. Okay, that's x, then this is going to be x squared root of 2. So to go from leg to hypotenuse, you multiply by square root of 2. So to go from hypotenuse to leg, you're going to divide by the square root of 2. So this leg is going to be 12 divided by the square root of 2. Now, typically, we will simplify the answer by rationalizing the denominator. So I'll multiply by the square root of 2 over 2, and therefore it'll give me a 12 square root of 2 over 2, which is going to leave me with a 6 square root of 2. So then we know the other side is going to be the exact same, which will be 6 square root of 2. All right, for 30, 60, 90, it's a little bit different because here we have a long leg and we have a short leg. So for the short leg, if we call that x, the hypotenuse is 2x and the long leg is x square root of 3. Okay, so the short leg is always directly across from 30 degrees and there's 60 degrees. All right, so you can hopefully recognize that that is the short leg. So therefore my hypotenuse is going to be 12, and then to go from short leg to my long leg, it'll be 6 square root of 3. And there you go. Pretty basic from there, but yeah, it's just something, one of those things you're just going to want to remember if you're taking a lot of trig or geometry. Vertex brown got in there. Yeah. Do you teach Calc 2? I only taught up to AP Calculus, but one of the things I want to do is spend a little more time going back to like learning the Calc 2 and above and different courses, so therefore I can teach them. Because yeah, I've kind of gotten a little bored of teaching the same things like pre-calculus mostly. So that's definitely one thing I want to kind of do to expand, you know, my expand the education that I provide on my channel. Well, thank you, Addie, for adding that in there. That's very helpful. All right, is 5 points then shouldn't? That is a good question. That's a really more of an advanced question. That's not really sure if that's the best one on here. Help with coordinate geometry. I don't know what you want help with coordinate geometry, so I'm going to have to delete. This is actually not too bad. I kind of actually enjoy kind of doing this because then you guys can kind of see which questions I usually choose and which ones I don't. Like if it's very vague, I just have to skip. I'm like, I don't want to waste people's time covering something that I don't even know if it's going to be beneficial to you, right? You know, it's like, so therefore I just kind of move on. Can a linear expression? No, they're not going to have any fractional exponents. So if it's linear, then the variable x is going to be raised to the first power. Will it still be a linear expression with the power is negative? No. It's only going to be linear when x is raised to the first power. Okay? So, Sai is asking a question. She's actually asking multiple questions. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting tired because I've had a long day and I got school tomorrow. Okay. Come on. Okay. If it is linear, then x needs to be raised to the first power. That's it, right? So it has to be y equals x to the first power. That is like what we call your identity, your parent function, right? So everything based is going to be based off of that. Y is equal to x to the first power, okay? So no negative powers, no fractional powers, nothing like that. All right, let's see how far are we making some inroads. Yeah, a little bit. So you guys have been adding some extra questions to me at the end. Thank you. I'm from Leeds, England. Well, great, Bill. Awesome. We had a good, maybe a rugby league fan. We'll see. For natural logarithm, what does the base e mean? Well, I mean, that means that's the base. You know, I mean, we have Leeds. Actually, we had come and play some rugby league back in Jacksonville some years ago. The Leeds Rhinos. All right. No, it was not the Leeds Rhinos. Who was it? I don't remember. All right. Passed Calc 3. Well, awesome. It was off for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm glad you passed, though. Sweet. All right, for natural, yeah, so the thing is like, it just means the base. Like if I have 2 cubed equals 8, I can rewrite that as a logarithmic expression of log base 2 of 8 is equal to 3, right? So I mean 2 is my base. So if I say e squared is whatever, I might as well just calculate it so you guys don't call me out on it. E squared, right, is 7.39. Let's just round that, 7.39. Well then, I'd say ln of 7.39 is equal to 2, right? Because the base is going to be e, right? We just don't write the base e because it's when we're using our natural logarithm, then that's going to be our assumed base, which we'll just use ln of, 7.39. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. And hey, Polyflame, good to have you on. So hopefully that was helpful a little bit for you, Isaac. Not sure. I need help with this math problem. All right, let's go and take a look. So we did 5 problems. All right, I feel pretty good about doing 5 problems. We'll see what else you guys got. Geometry problem. In the figure, circle, let BCF. Let's see if I can make sure I remember my formulas. And that's the thing with this. Excuse me. I think I'm crappy about geometry. It's like, a lot of like, oh, you know how to do it. I'm like, yeah, it's like, there's a lot of formulas. It's very difficult to remember everything you need to remember, you know? So find the formula BD, BCF, BCF, CF. Yeah, I would need to look over that one and kind of remember what I need to know. So unfortunately, that one's going to take too much time for me to work through. I think I want at least get to 5. So let's, or at least 5 more. I was having trouble solving this problem. I don't know if I have a favorite mathematician. I know you've asked that a couple times. I'm not sure if I have. And hey, Renlin, what is the area of the rectangle? I do not want to do that. That's a horrible problem. So I guess we should, maybe at least I'll set you up with what you should be doing. How does that sound? I guess it's actually not that bad. It's just kind of annoying. But here's another geometry problem. Come on. All right. 6. All right, so in this question, say the vertices of a rectangle are located at these points, and that says what's the area. So basically what you're just going to want to simply do is just plot the points. And then again, to find the, the area, you just want to find the base and the length and the width. So we do 1, 2. We do 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do 2, 6, 1, 2, negative 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we do negative 2, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a rectangle? Yeah, it's a horrible rectangle. So basically, it says a rectangle. So I guess, so basically what you're going to have to do though is use the distance formula or use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out your length and your width. Don't use that. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. No. Fine. All right. So, oh, I can just do that. Go back. Oh, it's right there actually anyways. So either way, you're just going to want to go ahead and find the length and the width, and then you'll go ahead and multiply those two, and that's how you find that. All right. Sorry about that. Do you think we should spend our whole time studying? Well, I would say, Deloney, go back to the beginning of my stream as I talk exactly about that. And no, quick answer is no. I don't think you should be spending the whole time doing that. But it's definitely could be something that you might need to, or might spend time. But I definitely think there should be some time where you can just enjoy yourself and enjoy not having to deal with the stress and the anxiety of what this year has brought on. I'm in 7th grade. I have to write the function in Vertex form by completing the square. Wow. I have probably some of my students probably can't even do that are seniors. Still can't do that. X squared plus 6x plus 3. So I'll complete the square for you on that. Let's go and find some different questions before. Let's get up to 10. Let's see if I can do that. Okay. So I will get you your question. Let's see if I can find 2 more that have been previously submitted, guys. The cosine inverse of 2/3. I'd have to go and take a look back at that. It's cubed and we need to figure out what's difference of 2 cubes. What was that? This is, again, these are all questions that have been submitted to the links that have been up there for that. I have no idea what that question is looking like, so we'll have to move on. What's the hardest math concept? That is a great open question because I think that's going to obviously depend on, where you are in your math journey and where you're trying to go. In Jackson from the live stream. Oh, you submitted this. Should teacher be more lenient in grades? I answered your question actually, so thank you for posting that. So you're going to discuss the next stream. Yes. How do you convince a teacher? Yes, I will be doing. Thank you so much. I'm not going to delete that. So I'm actually going to leave that on there so I don't forget. Emily, guess who's on there? Is Java and Gen an easy class for sophomores to take? Yes. I don't really know how to answer that because I can't answer that. But I'll just say yes, just so to give you an answer. But I think you can do very well. All right, guys, I think we actually might be able to skate away from 8. Ben. I'm having trouble finding the correct answer for this question. All right, Ben, let's go and take a look at your question. What was hard math concept in college major? Even if you're a math major, I will say that one of the more difficult concepts that I had was like from abstract algebra, because that was really one of those courses where you were really kind of put to test with your proofs and your ability to really understand numbers. And I don't think I was ready and prepared for what that course was going to deal with, what I was getting myself into. So I would say abstract algebra was my hardest class as being a math major, that I had to wrap my head around. And I think that was just a lot even though I took proofs and I was prepared for it, I think it was just kind of one of those mental shifts I don't think I was ready for. But I did well. I passed the class. But I had to put in a lot of work. I had to put in a lot of extra work into that class. I cannot see your question. It's sideways and it's in bad thing. So sorry, Ben, but we're going to have to move on from that. All right, this is good. At least I'll get through my queue here. Let's see what else we got. How do I do long division for this problem? All right, well, this problem, students tell me exactly what they want me to do long division for. All right, I will do that question. Oh, it's already past 10:06. How'd you guys get me past my curfew? Come on, guys. I said I was going to go till 10 o'clock. Good for you guys. You guys got me teaching later than I was supposed to, but that's okay. We'll keep going. All right, but I am done taking more questions, all right? The cool guy my teacher has read. Well, hey, Wyatt, good to have you on. Okay, I'm going to keep that one. All right, guys, sweet. So let's go and knock out these 2. All right, so completing the square, I'm just going to get right to it. We want to write this in vertex form, right? So we want to write this as a binomial squared. So to do that, we're going to take our, couple different ways. I'm just going to kind of do a very basic, straightforward way, is we're going to take our middle term divided by 2. So if we have a x squared plus bx plus c, what we're going to do is take middle term b divided by 2 and square it. So b divided by 2 squared. So in this case, we have 6 divided by 2. I know my b and my 6's look exactly the same. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Okay. Now I'm going to add that to my first 2 terms. Okay, so I have an x squared plus 6x plus 9. That has created my perfect square trinomial. I still have a 3, but again, you just can't randomly add a 9. You're going to have to then subtract a 9. This is now a perfect square trinomial, so I can rewrite that as a binomial squared. So that's x plus 3, quantity squared. And the 3 minus 9 is going to be a 6. So now my vertex is going to be -3, -6. And there you go. Yeah, I know, Melinda. I know, call me out. Thank you very much. But we don't always have to get to 10. I was saying I'd like to get to be able to 10, but it was amazing. All the questions that were submitted, even though now there's another one that came in, you know, we're adding in. I'm sure you ought to find the angle using. All right. I'm tired, guys. I told you I had a long day. All right. I'll get you your question. All right. If you guys can. All right. So that's going to give me the 9. And then if you guys can give me, if we can do another easy one, not so much easy, but a straightforward one, then I'll do number 9. I'll get to 10. We'll see. I do usually like to always get to 10. That's always, I will say that is kind of my preferred method. All right. Because when I always calculate like how many questions I've answered, and I've done 73 live streams on average, you know, there's been a lot of live streams I've done over 20, but if we did like, well, I don't know why I'm picking my calculator, but yeah, if we do like, you know, 73, if I've done an average of like 10 questions, that's 730 questions I've done. Crazy. All right. So let's delete those. Good thing. All right. Now you guys just keep on submitting your questions. All right. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Sophia. Hopefully this will be the last one. We'll see. I don't like doing statistics. So no statistics, no stats. That's something that I'm not something I just like to kind of think about as far as my explanation. So I got to look back over those. Chris says, I just watch you. You know, you're the only reason I got any of the math this semester. You're better teaching than most of my professors. Well, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I very appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and do this next question, which is going to be long division. So the first thing we're going to want to do, and if you guys do have another question, feel free to either add in the chat, or you guys can submit your questions onto the link here in the chat. You guys can also go ahead and check out the Discord. Again, there is a math challenge that is going on each and every day that you guys can join in on the Discord, which the link is in the chat. So if you guys are interested in joining the math challenge, just to kind of keep yourself fresh throughout the year, then go ahead and definitely do that. And as well as if you have other questions or you just want to help people throughout the year, then go ahead and do that as well. Yeah, stats are crazy. It's just one of those things that I never took stats when I was in high school because I took like an integrated math course, and then I only had to take one stat class like when I was in college. And then it's just crazy because I'm like, I get my degree and they're like, oh yeah, you're certified to teach statistics. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I barely like know what I learned, you know, taking statistics. So it's just one of those things I need to put in the time and the effort to really like refine my explanations on there. And it's just not something I've never really had to do. So I've only taught like a couple chapters from Algebra 2 that include like stats and statistics. And that's really about it. That's majority of my experience that I have, besides the one class I took in college. So it's kind of crazy. Do you do condition? I mean, I can, I know, but I've already forgot the conditional probability formula, on there, but but yeah, it wouldn't be something I'd probably do during the live stream just because it's not something that's fresh for me on there. What degree of mathematics? I have a degree of arts for that. So mathematical degree of arts, or Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. There you go. Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. All right. So first thing we're going to do is you're going to take your first term and x squared divided into x to the fourth, which is an x squared. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the x squared and you're going to multiply it times each and every one of those terms. And I just have a bachelor's as well. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times negative 2x is a negative 2x cubed. Now, again, you notice there is no 2x cubed, right? So you don't need to do this, but sometimes this is helpful to put a 0x cubed here as a place value, okay? So whenever you're missing a term, sometimes it's helpful to kind of add that in there. And then we have a 3x squared. Again, I don't have a 0x, so I'm just going to use a 0x there as my placeholder, plus 1. Okay. And I don't know why I added that hook, because it's not a square root. Let's do that. All right, so x squared times x squared is x to the fourth. X squared times negative 2x, that is going to be a negative 2x cubed. And then x squared times 3 is going to be a 3x squared. Okay, so I'm going to group these terms, and I'm going to square them, not group them. I'm just going to make sure I'm subtracting each and every one of these. So x to the fourth minus x to the fourth is a 0x to the fourth. 0x cubed minus a negative 2x cubed is going to be a positive 2x cubed. 3x squared minus 3x squared is just going to be 0. 0 minus 0 is just going to be a 0x. And then we have a positive 1. So let's see here. We'll go through our 0x squared plus a 0x plus 1. All right, let's do the game again. So x squared goes into 2x cubed. That's going to be a 2x. Ooh. Oh, come on. It's not fun. That's going to be positive 2x. So 2x, now you're going to take this and multiply it times terms in your divisor. So 2x times x squared is a 2x cubed. 2x times negative 2x is going to be a negative 2x squared. And 2x times 3 is going to be a positive 6x. So you can see why using these zeros is helpful as the place value, because I have something to subtract them to. So negative 2x cubed minus negative 2x, that's just going to go 0, 2x cubed. 0x squared minus a negative 2x squared is going to be a positive 2x squared. 0x minus 6x, that's going to be negative 6x. And 1 minus nothing, it's just going to be positive 1. All right, let's do it all over again. X squared goes into x squared. That's going to be a positive 2 times. 2 times x squared is a 2x squared. 2 times negative 2x is going to be a negative 4x. And 2 times 3 is going to be a positive 6. And again, subtract your rows. Negative 6x minus a negative, that's going to be a positive 2x. And then 1 minus 5 is going to be a negative 6. So unless I'm seeing a mistake, and you guys have, and yeah, in this example, you couldn't do, well, I guess you could factor it and do synthetic division. But at least for this divisor, you're not going to be able to get to it. And then, therefore, you're going to have a plus. You take your remainder, right? This is my remainder. And you're going to take your remainder and then put it over your divisor. And there you go. But yeah, so if you're going to do this one for synthetic division, what you'd have to do is you have to use a linear divisor. And since we have a quadratic divisor, that's why we're stuck with our long division. All right, so this one says find the cosine of b. So here's b. So cosine is going to be adjacent. So again, we have the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the same, guys. It's always directly across from the 90 degrees. The adjacent side is always between your angle and your 90 degrees, and then opposite is always directly across. So cosine, if you did like the SOHCAHTOA, is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's going to be a 3 over 5. You can see here, that's answer A. All right. So got that one. Yes, you are going to want to get familiar. I mean, I use synthetic division. Whenever you can use synthetic division, it's usually typically easier, better, and faster to use synthetic division. But you will want to make sure you know how to use long division because, yeah, not all problems are you going to be able to use long division for. So definitely worth it to make sure you know your long division. All right. Let's see if there's any other questions that I missed. Answer 1. Well, you're very welcome. Gotcha on there. Negative 6 plus 4 equals negative 2. Yes, it does. Did I not do that right? Dang it. Good catch. There you go. Thankfully, it didn't matter. Did it already. Very good. I think if you're comfortable with synthetic, yeah, I think the main thing is like, it's not so much about like for this problem, you wouldn't be able to use long synthetic division. I mean, you could, you would have to just do synthetic division, negative 3 plus 1. Yeah. So you'd have to do synthetic division twice to be able to get to the exact same answer. and it just be a little tricky. And again, not everything's gonna be factorable where you probably wouldn't want to use synthetic division. There's a lot of scenarios when you want to use synthetic division compared to when you want to use long division, but I'd make sure you know both. Like I said, is this class for your teaching or general examples you're going through? I'm just going through general examples that people submit. So if you'll see in the chat, there is a link where students submit their questions each and every week. And I take your questions. And that's what I've been doing, guys, for 73 weeks. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you have not already joined the Discord server, go ahead and go over there now. Take a look at it. Join the math challenge throughout the summer. And answer some questions, help some people out. If you're taking summer school, post some questions. But I think that is the main thing, guys. You got to take some time to relax. You got to take some time to get away. This was a tough year. Next year's coming up, right? And there's it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of effort to kind of get back to a lot of the math that we might have learned, might have not learned, right? But even though I think there's some merit to putting in the work over the summer, I think there's a lot into taking some time to relax and enjoy yourself. So, Kishore, I'm so happy to hear that you're graduating. Good for you. And I'm so glad that you've been watching me throughout your high school career. Well, thank you so much, or college career, wherever you started watching me. But thank you so much, guys, for joining in. And I will see you